very, very small amount. And actually, the B12 found in meat is bound so tightly with the meat protein that very often the body did not get it. And then the other thing is B12 is recyclable. We're talking about recycling this, recycling that. B12 is recycled by our body. So but if, let's say, people who really truly has a B12 deficiency, then definitely do some supplementing. But there are quite a few foods that's rich in B12 as well. Tom?
Question. I have something called essential tremor, which for the rest of you, it sounds like you need it, but I don't. Do you feel, that's probably things that I've eaten and things environmentally that have come in contact. Does the diet reverse it, or?
You know,
I know that's prescribing,
yes,
I know.
Yes. Generally speaking, hopefully will not get worse. So very often, people with tremors, if they use more of the raw fruits and raw vegetables in larger quantities, you get enough antioxidant perhaps to slow down that. Okay, we'll have 1 more minute for one more question.
If a person is using medicine, drugs of any kind, look into if one of the side effects of the drug may be tremor.
Yes.
And in fact, you know, a few years ago I was reading literature. It shows that in the U.S., at least 100,000 people develop tumor
Tremors.
or Parkinson tremor, Parkinson-like symptom because of the drugs they use.
Okay, one quick question. Okay, right here. Yes.
Vegetarian meat in cans?
You know, yeah, good. That's a good question. You know, vegetarian meat, of course, in cans, anything that's in cans and bottles and boxes and bottles and package, it's all processed. It's not the best, but, you know, for people who are transition from an animal-based diet to more of a plant-based diet, it's a good substitute to tie over. Okay, I think we better...
Okay, you took away my chicken.
Sorry.
You've taken away my hamburger.
Sorry.
And I love veggie burgers. Okay, my question is, can I eat tuna sandwiches?
You mean the real tuna or the pretend tuna?
The real tuna, you know how you mix it all up.
You know, among tuna, all those, actually there's a lot of studies done in that they are highly unstable. In other words, they get free radical damage very quickly. They're very often exposed to toxins, particularly mercury toxicity. So I think my time is gone. I'm sorry I stole a few minutes of your time.
That's okay. Take your time. Now, I want you to get up, maybe stretch a little bit. Stretch up will be better. If you have space on the side, stretch your side a little bit too. All right? I know you've been sitting for an hour already, and so stretch a little bit. Take some deep breathing. All right? Okay, that's 30 seconds exercise will be adequate, so you can be seated now. And, all right?
Mm-hmm. I'm shy on the microphone. How can you tell when you have a balanced diet, that you're getting all the nutrients?
Mm-hmm.
How can you...
If you eat a variety of food, you will have it balanced.
All the protein?
That's right, yeah. Maybe I'll repeat your question for the rest. There's a question, someone just asked me a question. How can you be sure that you have adequate ingredient or adequate nutrition in your diet? How would you know that? So I just answered the question. I said, if you have variety of foods, usually there's no shortage of protein. If anything, in America, most of us eat more than enough protein. Then you have no deficiency in essential amino acid, no deficiency in essential fatty acids. And because the requirements actually is very little. So even a person eats a plant-based diet and you get plenty protein from the beans, from the different things, and you get a lot of fatty acids from different kind of food as well. So usually it's not a problem. The problem, I think, in this country is overnourished to a point we probably had too much. Now, during this last hour, I want to talk about a subject which I feel is very important. You know, flu season with lots of colds, common colds, season with the flu and cold season are approaching. How many of you are excited that we're going to have flu season and cold season? Only my granddaughter here getting excited about it. Let me change around question. How many of you are worried a little bit now in the coming of flu season? Or you're a little bit unhappy? Well, a few of you. You know, pretty soon you're going to hear a lot about flu shots. In fact, it's already coming. I'll tell you, in spite of flu shots every year, 60,000 Americans died of complications of flu. 60,000 Americans died of complication of flu. Most of these people have flu shots already. People often ask me, do you endorse flu shot? I say I better keep quiet because I know my government promotes it, and so I don't want to say anything different. But I'm sure you have read news and papers. People have told you the flu shots really do not help very much. From the scientific standpoint, it's very easy to understand. When you had swine flu last year or whatever, bird flu, by the time you isolate the virus and by the time you prepare the vaccine, the flu virus already changed its antigen. Flu influenza virus happened to be one of those viruses that change antigenicity very, very rapidly. The kind of virus that changes its antigenicity most rapidly, obviously, is HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. There is a reason for 30, 40 years now, we don't have HIV. We don't have AIDS vaccine. You know, I was so naive. 30 years ago, I told myself, as an immunologist, I should try to study HIV vaccine. One of the Chinese, very rich Chinese gentlemen, in fact, even gave me some $500,000. Said, go ahead, see if you can develop vaccine. After I started doing research for just about 1 year, I discovered it's impossible. By the time I just finished growing the virus, and the antigens already changed. It's a new virus now. Changes so quickly. That's why even up to this day, there's no AIDS vaccine. Now, influenza viruses also change antigenicity, not as fast as HIV, but quite fast. When I say fast, in a year, probably will change several times. In a 10 years, there will be a big change. But anyway, let's change. That's right. That's right. Mm-hmm. And so I don't think I need to tell you whether or not I will get any flu. In fact, I never got a flu shot in my lifetime. But good news is I'm going to share with you today a simple method you can overcome from colds, common colds. You can overcome from flu, influenza, very quickly and very easily, very, very easily. The topic we're going to go into is hydrotherapy. I think it's there. Let's just review a little bit the respiratory organs, all right? We know there's nose, there's mouth, there's nasopharynx, or the junction between nose and throat pharynx, and larynx, or voice box. And here you see the different things, larynx, pharynx, or throat, and trachea, and lungs, etc. Now I need to go back to last one. You see there's a broken line. Broken line divides a respiratory tract into upper tract and a lower tract. So the broken line there is between the